So for about how many years now? For about 2 years now, I've been doing videos on my main channel that have been kind of current events commentary, explainers, it's stuff like that. And it was not unlike Many Peters, which was a previous series I did. Kind of the same thing, just discussing current events stuff, politics, theory, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know, I've gotten really down on it. I don't really enjoy doing it anymore. I do not like it. I don't like, because, okay, so the primary content of it is, look, I've told you this thing 100 times and it still applies. That's where we are with the main channel videos. It feels like a hamster wheel. And I look at all these other channels on YouTube, and everything that they're doing is storytelling. And it's all forced. Like, it's so forced into that format. Like, I was doing this blankety blank, and then the blankety blank led me down a rabbit hole to find a whole network of blankety blank. And now I'm exposing blankety blank for you. And then they don't actually expose blankety blank for you. Instead, they tell you about their day. It weighed on me for several days. I didn't think I was going to do this, but let me tell you what. I talked to my grandmother, and my grandmother said, look, you have to do what feels right. And so the lesson is that you always do what feels right and expose the scam. And that's why you should use ground news. What I'm getting at is it's been a while since I have enjoyed doing my channel, and I also refuse to do the conventions of YouTube because I fucking hate them. When I turn on one of those videos, I mean, it's tolerable in the woodworking because a lot of the woodworking people understand that they're not telling an important story. And also the story of them making something is inherently more interesting than a drummed up story of some fake conspiracy scam thing. But there's a line. I'm not happy to accept it as a convention that I have to use in order to maintain watch time, which is something that I have to say there is 100% lots of YouTube advice saying, how do you fit what you're trying to say in a story format? And it's like, I don't want to fit what I have to say into a story format. I don't want to use a story format. And the last couple of videos I've done, I'm extremely proud of. It's also, I mean, these things don't do a shitload of views. They're a ton of work. And to be frank, I have more fun interacting with people than I do, you know, spending hours and hours making sure that things are verifiable and writing a script and filming it and editing it. I like not doing that stuff. It's a lot of work. Like, and I can come on here and I can talk to you lovely people and we can go through stuff together. We can have a discussion about it. It's like radio, an even more interactive element. Rather than having to wait for phone calls, you're all there already. I like that. I think that's fun. And to be frank, in the future, that's kind of, I think, what this channel is going to be. It's going to be more of a community channel. You know, I want people to join the Discord. petercoffin.com/Discord will put you, it'll drop you right in it. We run a slightly different style Discord than your typical YouTuber Discord. We're pretty serious about not creating a hostile environment and not arguing all the time if we disagree on stuff and blah, blah, blah. I kind of want this channel to just be the forward-facing aspect of that. I have other things that I make that I'm far more creatively satisfied by, particularly very important documentaries, which I have been doing for 8+ years at this point. And I rebooted it in 2020. It's been more of a feature-length, real documentary style since then. The channel is Very Important Documentaries. This is how you find very important documentaries. Look at how terrible that looks. Uh, can you put shadows on it or something? That's so bad. Outline outline doesn't work too well. Background. Horseshoe Theory is Right is one of my favorite videos. I loved it. I appreciate that a lot because that is what I care about. I like making those videos. It's a lot of work. Horseshoe Theory took months. They usually take months. They're feature-length movies, essentially. And there's always some degree of experimentation in the visuals. There's always some degree of experimentation, in the format. It's something that I am very proud of making. So that is where my produced content is going to be from now on. YouTube.com/@importantDs, as in D's nuts. Ah, right? Yeah. Yeah. If you're interested in documentaries, that's where to find it. You like the short videos? There's so much work and nobody watches them. I mean, it's not just about if people watch them, of course. I make things for me, but that's kind of why I'm not doing it, is because the for me element of it, it's not quite there anymore. I don't really feel it. Like if I'm doing something like that repeatedly, like if it's getting hundreds of thousands of views and I get tons of money off of it, then it makes sense because it's a job. But man, I can't keep putting all that effort into that stuff if I'm not enjoying it. That effort needs to go elsewhere in my life. The documentaries I do because it does satisfy like the Peter end of the equation. If I don't get any views on those videos, I don't care. Who gives a shit? Because it's something creative and it takes time and it takes effort, and the end product I'm very immensely proud of. Whereas these shorter videos on this channel, they aren't that for me. I don't have that. It's not, it doesn't feel important. It doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel any of that. And it doesn't make me a shitload of money. In fact, it doesn't make me any money. It just, it takes time out of 3 or 4 days worth of, well, I got to figure out the right angle on this. I got to figure out how I'm going to say it in a way that it satisfies me, but also isn't alienating to people. And it's like, I'm just going to stream. I'm just going to stream. We can talk. We can have conversations. And I don't want to get any immediate hopes up, but I don't know how to say this without getting too, there is interaction with the other podcast host. Well, we'll talk about that maybe more in the future, but that's infinitely more fun than my main channel videos. Again, because I'm interacting with somebody. Podcasting is with some other person. It's fun. You know what I mean? It's enjoyable. This is not as enjoyable. Making these 15-minute videos that are essentially John Oliver, but not shit. I don't love doing that. It's not the most fun thing I could spend my time doing, And because it's not necessarily something that makes sense from a job perspective, I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't know about this. I don't enjoy it, and I don't benefit from it in any other way. So maybe I should just stop. That's why I'm directing people to important docs. And I will also, on this channel, I will update people where I am with important docs. We may even do editing streams. We may do stuff like that. You know what I mean? I like sharing that stuff. I like sharing knowledge. I like sharing experience. And I do feel like production, it's going to be something that I think works out well. I mean, I can share production with everybody here. But anyway, does this explain where I am with the channel well? Because to be frank, I think people should know what's going on. I've often made channel decisions in the past and then not really said anything about it because I'm not really committing to it. Because I never really know. I've followed whims too much, I feel, with this channel. I mean, not too much. I mean, I've followed maybe 4 or 5 whims over the course of I've been doing stupid videos since 1999, so 26 years. YouTube has occupied 19. Are we good? Is that just, do we understand what I'm like? Join the Discord too, because when I stream, that's where I'm going to announce it. It's probably the best way to see if I'm streaming. Again, I have a pinned message in the chat. Join the Discord. That's probably the best way to know when I'm going to stream, even if you don't participate. Although we have a lovely community of people